Good morning. Oh my gosh. Already starting off on a bad note. Had what we're talking about. And I'm going to start. I need a drink. So I don't have my normal deal with Realty tumbler today. I apologize. As you know, I've been dealing with some cold symptoms. I'm feeling better, but I'm one of those people where I feel good, okay? But I don't have a good judge of like energy levels or anything like that. So I woke up this morning and I've been sleeping in the last, I'd say 3 days because I'm trying to get as much rest as I can because when I get up, I get excited about, the day. And then like as soon as I start doing a bunch of stuff, I kind of forget that I'm sick. And then I just start feeling bad. So I lose my energy really quick. So it's been kind of interesting. I've been able to stream and I've been enjoying the streams and I feel like I'm getting better at the streams. We only have a few spam commenters. We don't really have anybody in the chat, which is depressing. I'm going to count the amount of days I've been consecutively streaming. I don't remember. You may say, well, is that relevant? Well, I don't know. Am I getting better? I feel like I'm getting better. I feel like I have my voice. Now, let's just look. I only got, see, even when I say I'm getting better, like right now, I didn't record. So anyway, let me look. I think it's the 24th consecutive stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's what it says. The 25th consecutive stream. I said I'd do 30 streams in a row and I would report back and see what happened. Getting close. Now, one of the problems I think going into this was, I'm not a well-known brand on the internet. Like people don't know who I am or what I do. So my name is John Schenk. I'm a real estate broker in St. Louis, Missouri. I help buyers buy homes and I help sellers list their homes for sale. Do we get top dollar for the homes? Absolutely. And how do we do that? We do that through our marketing. We have video, we have professional photographs, you name it. Social media exposure. We will sell your house when you list with us. But when I say us, mostly it's me. I have another agent, Jan. She's on the team and she helps me when I can't get everything done. She also has her own clients and we work as a team. And that is Deerwood Realty, St. Louis, Missouri. John Schenk, the broker. Jan Stark, my colleague. And that's the way we roll. Now, if you're in California right now, you don't know who I am. You don't know that, you don't care. So what happened on Sunday was I was sick, and I've been sick. You've seen it if you've been watching. If you've been watching the replays, gosh, just having trouble breathing, having trouble coughing, having trouble running nose. It was really bad the one day. And then on top of that, on Sunday, I had a terrible technical difficulties. I had the stream doubled, so it was splitting it between one stream and another, which isn't good for getting a bunch of people in. And then I was also, some days I just don't want to talk. Some days the subjects don't lend themselves to me talking a lot. And it's not something that I'm used to doing. And so it was a bad stream. And of course, the one time I have, a really bad stream, worse than usual, somebody comes on and says, you're the worst YouTuber ever, which is not possible based on what I've seen. Now, where are we at today? Well, this is kind of why I wanted to stream, because it is Thursday. It is the day before Christmas Eve in the United States, elsewhere, wherever they celebrate. Now, I don't know about you and your particular job. Okay, you may have the day off today. The kids are out of school today. My kids are out of school, so they're at the house. My wife is off work, but she's still working anyway because that's what she does. And so it's strange in that some people are probably rushing around right now buying gifts for people. No one's really calling me, lighting up my phone for real estate today. No one. Is it depressing? No. It's just kind of one of those things. There were no new listings. I mean, that's how weird it is. I have about 14 different searches in the morning that I look at for St. Louis area real estate. No new listings came up, which is unbelievable. Anyway, it kind of lends into this whole time off thing. Like if I'm off and everybody else is off, then and we're all running around getting gifts and stuff like that. We're not working. While I'm not, my normal streaming is at 9 a.m. Now, why did I choose 9? It's because I'm awake, and most of the time I've got everything in order by that time. I'm coming in at 12:45 today. I think yesterday I was at 2:45. It's working out because I'm not feeling well. But like I said, the reason, what I was going for is the reason why I wanted to be able to live stream more often is because I wanted to talk to you about the weirdness that the holidays brings on days off, on Sundays, on Saturdays, typically very busy real estate days that I don't think you get a window into as a normal 9-to-5er. Maybe a restaurant person understands. But today is a weird day. If you're at work, you're probably wanting to go home. Maybe that's not so strange. Maybe that's the way it always has been. But certainly as we go on, I reflect more at this time of the year. I reflect more and more about what happened during the year, and maybe try to position myself in a better light for next year. And the word nostalgia, when I was in my teens, I didn't like the idea of nostalgia. Looking back into the 60s is not something interesting to me since I wasn't born then. But now, as I tweeted earlier today, there was a tree. It used to be downtown. There was a big department store, and people used to go to it. And there was a big tree, and they took a picture of it, and they had it up for Turn Back Time today. And I miss the days of yore. I miss the idea of what life used to be. I think history is important. I see we're trying to rewrite history. I don't know if that's always been true. But I don't know if you've ever read Scott Adams' book, but history is the side that won in a war. World War II is the United States won. That's why we can write the history. Doesn't mean it's everyone's history. It's been true throughout time. History. So, if you can change history without a war, maybe that's where people are going. Now, I've always had problems with this idea that we should condemn those in the past for some sort of new age thinking from today. Either people haven't considered that, or they don't care, or they're doing it intentionally. But I remember, like, history in my life, my history, the one that I'm living, I will not let you rewrite. And so, for instance, one of my fondest memories of Christmas is this. I had my aunt, who's also my godmother, okay? And it was her mom and dad, Helen and Fred. And on Christmas Eve, we would go to their house, and I would get the most awesome presents from my godmother, who's also my aunt. I don't know. I never figured that out. But anyway, it was wonderful. And I would be so happy to see these gifts on Christmas Eve and get these gifts that when we would drive, literally the house, Fred and Helen Sears' house is in St. Louis Hills, which is in South City. I live in Afton, which is in South County. However, I'm like 2 blocks away from South City. So literally the drive maybe takes 10 minutes. Okay. But as a kid, I can remember I got all these gifts. I'm so happy. And it was and we had all this food and soda, and it was just wonderful. And we had such a good time, or I did, that I would be tired. I wouldn't even make it to when we left the house to come back home. I would fall asleep in the car. Okay. And while I was, dozing off in the back seat, because I'm by myself, because no brothers, no sisters, And we're driving down the road and there's all these beautiful lights, and they were the C9 style lights. They're not all these weird ass new fangled lights. And they weren't, you didn't put lights in your trees. You didn't put lights all over the place. You put lights on the rim of your house. Okay. A very simple, clean look. Okay. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And you will not ever be able to take that history away from me. I don't care. We're not doing it. Now, it's fascinating because my kids go to my aunts. Okay. They don't think the same way. They don't like it at all. They don't fall asleep on the way home. They don't even want to be there. They're on their phones and they're just clicking away. They don't like the gifts they get. Doesn't matter what they get. It's a very bizarre thing. But it's a different generation. Okay? We didn't have phones. I mean, literally, I got a stereo, and I'm positive my parents just could not stand the fact that I got a stereo, because that meant I got to play tapes, and I didn't get to play CDs until later because it didn't exist. But, you know, I got to play loud music at my house. I'm sure my parents loved that. But, you know, these memories, and we didn't talk about culture. We didn't talk about politics. We didn't talk about anything. We didn't talk about the idea that you wouldn't visit your relatives because there could be a communicable disease. This didn't happen. And the idea that you would screen your family to come to your house, I mean, that would be cause for disowning you, okay? And you say, well, that's not fair. That's not, it doesn't, there's no perception of fair existed. Now, you say, oh, John, you're just reminiscing about the good old days. You know, people were poor back then and it wasn't great. You know what? You're right. And that's true too today. And you know what? And down the road, it's going to be true again. People are always going to be poor. People are always going to have bad years. People are always going to live and they're always going to die. But you know what? My memory is, it was the most wonderful, wonderful experience. And I'm sad that I can't live it today. There's not one thing that I can buy at the store or have someone buy for me that would cause me to be, first of all, Helen and Fred are dead, so I'm not going to be able to hang out with them, okay? The dog, Dolly's dead. The house is still there. It's been repainted. The people, you know, you just can't replace these memories. And so be it. But this idea of we can't, you know, we always have to look at the past critically as it was like a negative thing. We always have to be miserable. We always have to add a bunch of garbage layers of now onto the past. It's driving me insane. It's driving me insane. So it's the day before Christmas Eve, though. So what do we do today? Do I remember if we were always off work? No. And you know what? I probably worked. I probably missed some when I was in high school or college. Too stupid to know any better. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It's a joyous time of the year. Will I stream on Christmas Day? Yes. Will I stream on Christmas Eve? Yes. Why? Why not? Why not? You say, well, you're doing a job. Am I getting paid for this? No. No. Are you getting clients for this? No. I'm literally doing this for fun. It's me screaming out into the abyss. How many videos are uploaded a day on YouTube? Probably like 1 billion. 100 million. I mean, there's a lot of videos, okay? And as I've gone through it, you know, there's so many. There's so many. And the chances that you're going to be seen and then liked or listened to or watched by someone, I mean, it's the numbers are even smaller than that. So we got to do this for ourselves. So we are. That being said, I talked about the algorithm yesterday. The algorithm got even more mad at me than it's been. You know, I went from 1,200 impressions less than a month ago as I started this crusade. I had less than 100 yesterday. I was upset when I had 300 3 days ago, and now I'm excited about that because it's more than the 100 I had today. Now, what is going on? What am I doing wrong? When I look at the Google stream, because I can do that now, I figured it out. I can look at the control room, and I can see like, you know, hey, what am I doing wrong? Nothing. There's nothing going on. There's nothing wrong with the stream. They're not They're not upset with me in any way. I mean, it's weird because I can see myself now in the stream and it's like I'm behind. So I'm going to get out of it, but I'm not being warned. Like I didn't do anything wrong. You know, they're not like upset with me for saying it. But you know, it's like, why are you punishing me? What did I do? What did I do? Of all the people that come after me? Anyway, what are you guys up to? What does this time of the year mean for you? As you know, my wife is Bosnian, of Bosnian descent, and she says she doesn't. When you talk to the Bosnians, they say they don't celebrate Christmas, but they lie. Especially the kids. They love Christmas. Okay, they love it. But I'm running into this thing where one of my other Bosnian friends, the ignorance on being a Muslim or being Bosnian in the United States is breathtaking. And I must admit that I was absolutely so wrong on so many perceptions about the Bosnian people. But some Bosnians are Muslim. And so the idea in St. Louis is, oh, well, they can work on Christmas because they don't care about Christmas. Which is kind of silly because it's not just a Bosnian thing either. It's this idea that people don't like Christmas. Once you've had Christmas over and over again, you love Christmas. And if your kids are born here, they're going to want to celebrate Christmas. I don't know. I don't want to get in like a political, religious war on a live stream that no one's watching. But it's fascinating to me. It's fascinating. My life is enriched because of the Bosnian people, Bosnian traditions, and the culture. It's making my life significantly better than just being an Amerikaners. So, would you ever buy a house now? I do on Twitter. I do try to follow other agents. I do try to follow this one outfit called the Broke Agent, which I really like. They're more real to me. And they had a tweet today that said, you know, it was something about, you know, most people have their voicemail set to, hey, you know, thanks for calling. I'll get you back, you know, after the new year. And then real estate agents are like, no, I'm not going to replace the sink. Essentially, I blew the joke, but you understand. The idea is we're working all the time. Now, there were not that many listings. And you know that I had that deal that blew up yesterday or the day before. So, you know, business is always down from now to the new year. Now, I get upset with Google because you get put in these places, okay? Google thinks like they know your business better than you do. Google thinks they know medicine better than you do if you're a professional. Google thinks they know politics better than you do. Google thinks it knows everything better than you. We know that's not true. But anyway, so Google My Business sends an email out that says, you know, hey, are you going to be open on New Year's Day? Well, it depends on if somebody calls. I'm not going to sit in my office any more than I would normally sit in my office. But if somebody calls and wants to go look at a house on New Year's Day, I'm there. If someone wants to go look at a house on Christmas Day, I'm there. You call the number, you be a real person, you're pre-approved, we're going to go look at houses. You want me to list your house? You want to talk about it on Christmas Day? I'm ready. New Year's Day? I'm ready. But let me tell you about something that happened. Wait a minute. That was a good transition, but I have to get better. Finish the thought. So Google sends this email that says, are you open these days? Warning, if you say you are and we call you and you're not, we're going to punish you. It's like, okay, you punish me. Now understand, no one's coming to my website. No one's coming to the live streams, but you're going to punish me even more. Bring it. Bring it. You know, I mean, the idea that I'm going to worry about a strike, you know, I'm worried about a strike, but the idea I'm going to worry about not answering my phone to a Google bot on New Year's Day. And that's, I'm just not there. I'm sorry. I don't care. Anyway, here's how it works in real life. Here's being a real estate agent to a T. Last year, I got a call on Christmas Day. It was from a lady that I had, she won a contest that we do every month, or we did every month, for a coffee card. And she won it, and she called a few weeks later, and it happened to be Christmas Day. And she happened to say, "Hey, John, love the newsletter at the time. Can I see this house? Are you pre-approved?" Yes. So on Christmas Day, I leave my family and I show a house. We go to the house. She says, I'm going to buy this house and sell another one. Now, it was in a part of town that's close to me, but it's not a part of town that I would really, I don't know how to say it. It's not a part of town that I would say, hey, this is a great place to buy a house at this price. But anyway, what ended up happening was she thought it was an 1,800 square foot house. It was it was actually 800 square foot house. But Zillow takes the listing and makes it, they take the living area, so they take the basement and end up being 1,800 square foot house. And the price was ridiculous for that size of house. So when she found that out, she was angry. Now, I showed this house for this lady on Christmas Day. How did she thank me? Well, she never called me again. She listed her house with someone else and moved to Illinois. And that's the thanks you get as being a real estate agent. Okay? And don't let this stuff fool you. This week, I don't remember if I told you I don't care about the rest of the week based on what happened to me so far as of Wednesday. On Saturday, I find out that I lose maybe a $14,000 commission. And then I lose another commission on Wednesday. Okay? $20,000, and you say, well, John, that's a lot of money. You should be ashamed of yourself for earning that kind of money. I don't earn that kind of money because it just broke down. Okay? And so that's the other thing that I'd love to tee off on, since no one's watching. Who are you to tell me how much I can earn? Do you tell your doctor how much they can earn? When you go to your office, do you tell your boss that you're worth 3 times more and that you should be paid that, or you're going to walk out the door? No. Why do we think it's okay to tell real estate agents how much they can earn? Who thought that was a good idea? Who keeps doing it? Back off. If you don't like my commissions, if you don't like the fees, don't use me. Use someone else. You say, well, that we could have a bad experience if we, yeah. It's why we're expensive. It's not easy to do this all the time. It's not easy in my life. Like, it's stressful. It's very stressful. Okay? Years of my life are being taken from me by doing the real estate business day in and day out. And you're going to tell me that it's not worth this, or it's not worth this, or I'm worth this. You know what? Piss off. Seriously. And, let's assume that you call me and you treat me with respect, and the house is priced at a decent price, and you do the effort to list the house and do it right. So you don't have a bunch of clutter. It looks beautiful. You've updated things. It's within the realm of what someone would buy. And it's also priced in the right range. Okay. You want a little cut? You want a little difference in commission? 100%. Decent person to work with? 100%. Come at me like a jerk, have a shitty house. Sorry, have a messed up house. Okay. Try to beat me down on commission the first day I walk in, the first moment you talk to me, and see what I do. We're not going to work together. We're not going to work together. Is it good? No. No. It's bad. But I just want you to understand that it's not always roses being the real estate agent. I mean, I have shown houses on Christmas. It didn't work out. Not proud of it. Not proud of it. But, Google asking me if we're going to start the business. Yeah, we're going to have the business open. Call. I'm happy to show a house. I'm happy to help you. And those are my hours, but you can call after hours all the time. Most people do. Most people are working during the day. Doesn't bother me. So, that being that, let's get to some other things. Okay? as you know, I know very little about what's going on in the world because all I do is deal with real estate all the time. I have no idea about popular culture. I guess I'm getting older. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what's going on. So I've been using Google Trends to like kind of inform me what's going on. And so how has that benefited me just on the live streams? Well, we learned about the summer solstice and the winter solstice yesterday. I had forgotten about that. And then my 3 kids all went to Spider-Man, the movie. We did that like a week ago. I didn't even know it was coming out. I didn't know where it's at. And, you know, it was wild. So I think that it's helpful. I think that it's helpful to know what's going on in the world. So I'm going to just tell you, here's the things that I have coming up that had a lot of searches on Google today, and we're just going to go over them. And you tell me if you knew, and I'll tell you if I know. I don't have any idea. Well, let's go over this. Okay, so Harlem Star, which I've never seen, Megan Good, who I don't know, and her husband Devon Franklin, who I also don't know, are to divorce after 9 years of marriage. Now, I don't know who these people are, and I'm sorry. First of all, I'm sorry that they got a divorce or getting a divorce. I think that's fair. Okay. I got nothing. So I'm just going to read this. It says Megan Good and Devon Franklin are filing for divorce. Okay. Well, it says people exclusively confirm. So like they're the only people that know that the couple split after 9 years of marriage. Good and Franklin, who met on the 2011 film Jumping the Broom, which I don't remember, got engaged May 2012 and wed in June 2012. Well, that's a whirlwind romance, isn't it? After much prayer and consideration, we've decided to go into our futures separately but forever connected. Good and Franklin shared in joint statements from 40 and 43 years old. I'm 44, so they're about my age. We celebrate almost a decade of marriage together and a love that is eternal. There's no one at fault. We believe this is the next best chapter in the evolution of our love. It's an interesting way to put it. We're incredibly grateful for the life-changing years we spent together as husband and wife. We're extremely thankful to God for the testimony being created inside us, both for blessing our lives with each other, the pair adds. 6 months before publicly sharing their decision to divorce, Good and Franklin posted anniversary tributes to one another to mark their 9th year of marriage. Well, that's 6 months ago. I guess it soured. It only took them 1 month to get married, based on what it says. I don't know. June 16th, Good shared a nearly 4-minute highlight reel of their relationship on Instagram. To the love of my life, my husband, purpose partner, happy anniversary. My wife's never called me a purpose partner. I really don't know. I don't know what that means. The Harlem Star wrote, this makes number 9 in eternity you go. You are the best decision I've ever made. I love you with everything inside of me in this life and the next. At the time, Franklin, a preacher and Live Free, Exceed Your Highest Expectations author, wrote a message to Good on Instagram along with a photo of the pair. I love you, my love. Happy anniversary, number 9. Now, he did not go into the direction of eternity you go or the best decision he's ever made. And maybe we should have taken more from that post back then. As recently as December 2nd, Franklin celebrated the actress and touted her new Amazon Prime Video series on his social media. I'm so proud of my love. She's one of the most talented actors on the planet. And she's funnier than you may know. But I'm glad you finally get a chance to see her do it all as Camille Parks in the new Amazon show Harlem. As fans can report, so there's fans of these people. Good and Franklin frequently documented their romance for their fans, even writing the best-selling book. I mean, like, I didn't know anything about this. The Wait, a powerful practice for finding the love of your life and the life you love. Okay. In their 2015 book, they shared details about their courtship and values, including how saving sex until marriage was the key to success in their relationship at the time. Well, now they're divorced. They got engaged in 2012 and got married in 2012. Anyway, 200,000 searches on Google. What do you think about that? I mean, all of you fans out there, thank you for, I don't know, not mentioning to me about Megan Good and Devon Franklin. But now I know. Now I know. And again, I'm not making light of the fact they got divorced. I don't know who they are, but I'm thankful for Google for helping me with the search. Let's move on. I didn't do a Google Trends search yesterday, so that's why I'm doing it today. I wanted to get 2 of them in because it was important to me. There were over 500,000 searches on this. Pause on student loan payments is extended through May 1st. Well, that's interesting. Washington, the Biden administration on Wednesday extended a student loan moratorium that's allowed tens of millions of Americans to put off debt payments during the pandemic. Now, my understanding earlier was that it was not going to be extended, so I don't know what's going on. Under the action, payments on federal student loans will remain paused. Interest rates will remain at 0 during that period, and debt collection efforts will be suspended. Those measures have been in place since early in the pandemic, but were set to expire on January 31st. That's what I understood. President Joe Biden said financial recovery from the pandemic will take longer than job recovery, especially those from student loans. We know that millions of student loan borrowers are still coping with the impacts of the pandemic and need some more time before resuming payments. He said in a statement, adding it was an issue that the vice president and him both care deeply about. The Omicron variant that has swept through the U.S., and I can just see my YouTube channel being shut down. I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything. Has swept through the U.S. with a flurry, has lent new urgency to the question over whether the moratorium would be extended. I said that I initially expected the January extension to be the last, but even as the economy improves, there are concerns that borrowers are not ready to start making payments again. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but isn't it amazing that we live in a time where you can literally stop paying things because things are bad and it's totally fine? I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but say these 2 people that got a divorce, okay? Got a divorce. You've got car payments, house payments, okay? Do you get to just not pay it for a while because you got a divorce? It's so bizarre that there's certain things that you don't have to pay and then other things you do. And it's not, don't get me wrong, it's not a commentary on anything other than, isn't it weird? And you say, well, it's compassionate. I don't know because I don't understand this situation. It says once the moratorium ends, those who are already behind on payments could have wages and benefits taken away as part of their debt collection efforts. So now you're going to work, you're loaded up to the hilt with student loans, and now they're taking your wages. This is just insanity. The policy applies to more than 36 million Americans who have student loans that are held by the federal government. Their collective debt totals more than $1.37 trillion. Now, just the interest on that, about a third of the borrowers are in default or delinquency, and the average monthly payment is $400. Officials say the pause also helps about 5 million other borrowers currently in school or not yet paying back loans, but are accruing interest. If this isn't the most horrible, horrible setting in the world, I just don't know what else is. I just don't know. We're going to get into it because I have a little bit of insight in this. Education Secretary said in a statement, the extension will allow for repayment plans, response to the financial. It's all bullshit. Don't believe any of it. The continued pause will provide critical relief to borrowers. No, it won't. They still owe the money. They're still going to come at you as soon as they can. It's ridiculous. The Trump administration, so don't just think that it's one side of the aisle or the other, initially suspended federal student loan payments in March 2020 and later extended to March 2021. Biden has now moved it twice after the Education Department raised concerns of the effects of suddenly restarting payments, both for students. What do you mean I got to pay the debt again? Again, not debt situation is terrible. Don't get me wrong. Some Democrats are pushing for mass forgiveness of debt, but Biden questioned whether he has the authority for that kind of mass cancellation. Legal scholars different on that. I don't care about legal scholars. They're not worth anything. Earlier this year, Biden asked the Education and Justice Departments to study the issue. Officials said that work is still underway. Yeah, we'll get around to it. Now, don't get me started. Biden has previously said he supports canceling up to 10,000. Why not 15? Why not 100? Why not 20? Where did you come up with 10? The extension was met with relief by student advocates who pushed for a more permanent solution. We can finally take a breath knowing that student loan payments will be paused again, said Wisdom Cole, NAACP Youth and College National Director. But true relief would only come with the cancellation of student loan debt. To provide financial relief during Omicron, cancel student debt. Yes, absolutely. If it snows on a Tuesday, cancel student debt. Just anything. Just, cancel it. To boost the economy, cancel student debt. To address the racial wealth gap, cancel student debt. Meanwhile, in October, the administration relaxed the rules for student loan forgiveness program it has in place already, ditching some of the toughest requirements around the program that was lost in 2007 to steer more college graduates into public service. Biden says that he also asked student loan borrowers to do their part as well. He said this to take full advantage of education department resources as they prepare for payments to resume, look at options to lower payments through income-based repayment plans, explore public service loan forgiveness, and make sure you're vaccinated and boosted when eligible. All right, here's what I have to say about this. And it comes up in real estate, so that's why I'm talking about it. Student loan debt. The middle child is going to go to college next year. Yesterday, I was like, I'm not filling out the FAFSA. Why should I, if she's 18 years old, okay? If she's an adult under the eyes of the law, why am I taking on debt? Why am I agreeing? Why are you using my income for this? Like, what is it to you? You're your own person. That's legally your own person. So why am I involved in this? My wife said, you have to fill out the FAFSA. You don't have a choice. So what if you don't have parents? Well, I was reading through that. The FAFSA racket starts early, okay? And you say, well, John, don't you want millions to be educated in college? Sure I do. But this is a racket. Mobsters in the 20s could not have done a better job on loan payments than the college admissions scam. What kind of parent? This is 2021. What kind of parent would knowingly put their name on a document that it someday is going to allow their child to borrow a stupid amount of money? They're not a child, they're 18, that they may never pay back for a degree. It's indentured servitude in the United States. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. You say, well, John, if you just have the money, you should pay cash. College is like $50,000 a year or more, $80,000 a year or more. Room and board. This is ridiculous. Why is it this way? It's the federal racket. It's a racket. This is legalized theft of people that can't afford college. And people that can't afford college has to be mostly upper middle class and below. It's the government's way of giving you something with not actually giving you anything. So let's just go over it. So say you're poor, say you're dirt broke, okay? And you want to go to school and your parents are dirt broke, okay? So you fill out your FAFSA and magically, oh, you are the poorest of the poor, we'll let you in and we'll give you these wonderful, wonderful loans to pay back over time. That's depending on if you get a job or not afterwards. What if you don't get a job that pays the money? Well, you still have to pay anyway. Well, what about upward mobilization? What about the idea that I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to have a wife, I'm going to have, a wonderful life, and my income is going to go up forever? Well, that's the belief, but that's not practice. It's a scam. It wasn't that way. Let me just tell you how old I am. There was a time when people didn't go to college. Okay? And so it wasn't worth that much. And other people went to college. My grandparents didn't go to college. My mom and dad went to college, and when they went to college, they worked at the college and had enough money to pay for their tuition so that when they left college, they had zero debt. Okay. What the hell happened in my generation? I mean, it is bad. Okay. And now this generation, you've got housing prices increasing. Okay. You're basically, you've got automotive prices increasing. Okay. You can hardly find a decent used car right now. And you've got sloppy wage growth, minimal wage growth, and you're doing all kinds of things to hurt employees across the board. Union, non-union, you're doing all, American employees are getting the shaft 50 different ways, okay? And we're all supposed to stand around and think, hey, this is great. So here's what I've done. I can't fix every problem. I've learned this. I can't fix every problem in life. Okay? I don't think my kids should be on social media. They still are. Why is that? Well, I don't have control. Can't stand it. But I can't do anything about it either. At least until you're 21 or you're 18. Then you can be on social media. Okay? But the stuff I see on TikTok makes me sick. It just makes me sick. And I know they're watching it. And it's just a disgusting situation. But anyway, with the middle child. Now, the oldest child, total mess, going to be in debt forever until he decides to pay it. It's bad. It's a bad situation. Middle child, we're not doing it. If she can't get into school without debt, taking on debt, I'm not going to do it. What does that mean? Maybe community college to start? Is she going to like that? No, she's not. But I'm not going to put the weight of a six-figure debt on my child at age 18. It's insanity. It's not right. It makes me a bad parent. You may disagree with that. Many people must, because there's plenty of people going to college. And I'm not saying that college isn't valuable. I'm not saying anything. If you want to look at statistics that say that college students make more money than people that don't go to college, I'll argue those statistics with you. I have 2 graduate degrees. I mean, I feel like I know a little bit about college and the scam that it is. Anyway, that's what's going on in Google Trends. That was 500,000. So we're just going to postpone. And look, I don't feel bad. I do not ascribe to the argument that says, well, these people knew what they were doing and it's totally fair and, they should pay their fair share. I don't think you understand the situation. You say, well, I went to school and I paid it off. Well, good for you. You say, well, it's not fair for the other person to not have to pay it. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. I totally agree with you. Yet here we are. It's a mess. It's a mess, and no one talks about it. They talk about it in these terms. He's going to forgive payment for 6 months on a student loan. That's not the root cause of the student loan issue. It's ridiculous. The real ridiculousness is, and by the way, there's a game that's out now that isn't the game that I used to play or we used to play when we were in school. Here's the new game. You apply to a school, they automatically say they're going to give you X amount of dollars. So let's just say you apply to a school and it's $40,000 tuition. With your acceptance letter, they say, congratulations, we're giving you the President's Award and you get $10,000 a year from us. Oh, great, I got a scholarship. No, they just literally raised the price, $10,000, and it's a whole lie. They give everybody the $10,000. But now it's, instead of $30,000 to go to school, it's $40,000 to go to school. And down the road, it'll be $50,000 to go to school, and you'll be paying $40,000. This way, you're only paying $30,000. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't want to be and here's why I care. I believe in optimism. I believe in this idea, okay? go to college, you get a job, you have a family, okay? You move up in life, things are good, okay? Well, you look at a starter home that's $300,000 to start, okay? After you just graduated college with $100,000 in debt, and your wage is $30,000 a year. Go buy a house. Good luck. You say, John, you have to buy a fixer-upper or something like that. You can't buy a fixer-upper. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. It's just ridiculous. You say, well, John, you can't just put out stuff with no solutions to the problem. Yeah, what is the solution to the problem? Who's all going to college? Who are these people? Americans going to these colleges? American citizens? Chinese citizens? I don't know. Other countries? Are we putting other countries before the United States in our own institutions? For school? Not to steal professors. America first, America last. Good look there. Good look there. But there's also something structurally wrong. I mean, why is college so much more expensive than it was, 60 years ago? Some people say, well, the federal government got involved. Maybe they're not wrong. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I'm sorry to bring forth a problem where I don't have a solution. My solution is the way we're going to do it is we're going to just have to go community college, I guess. That's what I say now. Now, will she end up with a scholarship to some school? Maybe. She's a good kid. She deserves one, but so is everybody else's kid. What parent's going to say their kid doesn't deserve a scholarship? Let's look at an article. I'm going to skip it looking at real estate again. I'm going to look at an article again. I kind of run out of time. But I'm enjoying it. But let's look at some articles today. So this article here, we're not going to look at the Houston, Texas market. We'll look at that tomorrow. Mortgage rates inch up following Fed policy changes. Okay. So this was December 17th. I've just gotten into the 23rd. It says the 30-year fixed mortgage averaged 3.12 for the week ending December 16th, according to Freddie Mac's latest primary mortgage market survey. So now, if I don't want to call the lenders that I use, I can kind of go off this and I can kind of be close. So the 30-year fixed rate mortgage averaged 3.12%, up from last week when it averaged 3.10%. Last year it was at 2.67%. I don't care about the 15 or the 5 because it doesn't matter. I just go based on the 30-year fix. That's good enough for me. It says mortgage rates inched up as a result of economic improvement. But that's weird. The economic improvement doesn't include the ability to pay off student loans based on the article we just read. And a shift in monetary policy guidance. While house price growth is slowing, prices remain high due to solid housing demand and low supply. We expect rates to continue to increase into 2022, which may leave some potential homebuyers with less room in their budgets on the sideline. Concern about the potential impact of the Omicron variant, for which expectations are evolving rapidly, largely offset stronger economic data, including an uptick in both builder and small business confidence. Confirming the builder's upbeat outlook, construction data for November exceeded expectations. Coupled with the Fed announcement, however, we expect the stronger economic data to lead to bigger uptick in mortgage rates in the weeks ahead, unless new information suggests that Omicron is a bigger concern. It says Realtor.com chief economist Daniel Hill. That's not Lawrence Yun, who's the head economist at the National Association of Realtors. The housing market remains competitive, with our data showing that asking prices jumped this week, with rents also surging, up 20% in the last year. The rental market isn't offering any relief from high housing costs. In response to these realities, first-time homebuyers are more determined than ever. And our recent survey data shows that aspiring first-time homebuyers are upping their home budgets and more willing to offer above asking to be successful in today's housing market. What's going to really happen with mortgage rates going up? What does that really mean? Well, it means the house price either has to go down because you can't afford the monthly payment. And doesn't that have to happen? Maybe you'll argue that because there's so much demand, that won't happen. But I mean, let's just go over the weird things about something weird about real estate. So I buy a house for $200,000, live in there 10 years. Market appreciates every year. Now my house is worth $300,000. I've done nothing to it, and I've just lived in it. Well, that's odd. That doesn't seem right, does it? Well, it's happening. Can that go on forever? I don't know. It didn't last time. Say to me, John, what would you do right now if you wanted to buy a house? I say, buy a house. You going to live there for 5 years, 10 years? Yes. Okay. Do you have some sort of marketable skills where you can be employed that time? Yeah. All right. We'll try it. Should you sell your house now? Well, only if you have another house to buy, if you've got another place to go. What will my answer be 6 months from now? Same. I mean, is now a great time to buy? No, it's terrible. Should you wait? Well, if you want to. I've had people sit out this market since, 4 years ago. The house that they're looking at now is 75 to 100% overpriced to where they started. I mean, they would have literally made all of their money back in the house if they would have bought it back when things were rolling. Even one of the more interesting things is you see people that bought a house in like 2016 and they sold it in 2020, okay? And then they bought right then and they didn't really get ahead because the things that, you didn't get as much for your money. I don't know. It's a good article in the sense that mortgage rates going up means something. It means something. Next little bit of information, new home mortgage applications down in December. Well, let's take a closer look at that. It says new home mortgage applications down 2.2% in November. Okay, well, what does that mean? Mortgage applications for new home purchases decreased 2% year over year, according to the so-and-sos for November 2021. On a monthly basis, applications declined 3%. So most people, when they're going to buy a house, the idea is they're going to get a mortgage application first. And if you can kind of figure between like the applications and then them actually buying, that kind of indicates what kind of market would be. If you had no one applying for mortgages, you can figure that the market's going to go down or going to be tough. Let's just put it that way. If there's many, many applications, you would think that the market would be good because people are jumping in. MBA estimates new single-family home sales were running at seasonally adjusted annual rate of 905,000 units in 2021. I don't know what that means. The seasonally adjusted estimate for November is an increase of 0.9 from October's 897 units. Unadjusted MBA estimates, there were 65,000 new home sales in November 2021. Now think about that for the whole year or for the whole month in the whole United States, 65,000 home sales. And that's down from 68,000 in October. 3,000. I mean, does that really matter across the United States? Conventional loans composed 76.3 of loan applications. FHA loans composed 13.2. RSUSDA loans composed 0.5%, and VA loans composed 10%. The average loan size of new homes increased from 412,000 to 414,000 in November. The takeaway, applications to purchase new homes in November slightly declined on a monthly annual basis. However, the average loan amount increased. A competitive purchase market combined with increasing building material costs have been pushing sales prices higher. There also continues to be a shift to the higher end of the market. But I don't know if that's true because you almost have to go to the higher end of the market because you can't buy anything at where you would have normally bought it, which would have been average. November's estimate for new home sales is the largest for the month since the survey began in 2012. What does this mean for you? I don't know. What does it mean? I don't want to lie to you. I don't want you to think that that I have this crystal ball and can tell you all these things that aren't true. Hey, on. So, what did we learn today? One, I'm not a fan of the student loan situation. I mean, that is a racket. Should Congress investigate? Congress hasn't been able to do anything for a decade. They've never done anything right for the last decade. So they're not going to look at it. And even if they do, it'll screw it up even more. Should the executive branch look at it? Let's be honest. These people are a mess. Should the courts look at it? Okay, so the government's out. So who's going to fix it? Private markets? Would you want to fix something in a private market when you're getting a subsidy from the government? Like, let's say you had the greatest college in the world and you could offer your tuition for $15,000 when everybody else is offering it for $40,000. Should you do it? Are you going to get anywhere? Why? Even if you marketed it for $30,000, you're still still doing well. I mean, that's the real issue with this. It's really bad. I used to believe markets solved every problem, but you know what? Gotten old enough to see how that's not true. I mean, if you want to get into price signals, okay, pricing signals, well, do the math on the subsidies that are added to that price that's creating a signal. No. Mortgage applications down. Should we be worried? No. Mortgage rates up. Should we be worried? I mean, the real issue you're going to have is there's going to be a period of time where sellers are going to come to market with stupid asking price, not realizing that the mortgage interest rates have gone up, so the people that would normally buy their homes can't. And then there's going to be 6 months where people are like, why isn't anybody buying my house? And then all of a sudden it'll be like, well, it's a buyer's market now. Buyer's market. Sellers are only going to make like $100,000 off their home and not 50 or not 500. I saw that yesterday. Still bothers me that Wall Street or the New York Times article where the lady spent $500,000 over asking, and she couldn't tell for sure if she was being discriminated against by race, but it was a justification for not writing a buyer love letter, even though she did. It was a very odd article if you kind of walk it back. We talked about Christmas. We got Mr. Rogers Homes. He followed my channel. You're welcome on anytime. I don't understand the dog wags the tail. I don't know if that's, I don't know what I was talking about at the time. I did subscribe to your channel, I believe. And if I didn't, I'll get it today. But thank you for watching. I'm gonna cut it down now. If you have any questions, call me. Write it in the comment section below. Write it in the chat. Come and chat with me. It was great to have somebody on my chat. I was so confused. And I'm so used to spam commenters. And Mr. Rogers Homes is not spam. He's a real estate agent out of Arizona. And I should have asked him about some of those homes we saw. They were dog. I'll see if I can get a collaboration with somebody sometime. It can be kind of interesting. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you catch this on replay and you got this far, congratulations. I've enjoyed it. I am going to do a video today, and I think you're going to enjoy it. It's on a hoarder. I'm going to do it right next.